my question here is, how can we understand with our ancient texts that the UFOs which we were referring to were the similar ones which are being talked about today?
There's no direct correlation. Like they never talked about a Trishul shaped UFO. The best way to think of a UFO is like think of a Vimana.
All right.
Okay. If,
So,
if we had to say it in Hindi or Sanskrit or Tamil or whatever, the best way to say is you can call it a Vimana. And you can see a variety of Vimanas being mentioned in ancient texts. It's mentioned in Ramayana, it's mentioned in Mahabharata, it's mentioned in other texts, disputed texts like Vimanika Shastra, Rukma Vimana, Sundara Vimana, Shakuna Vimana, various types of Vimanas with various sizes and shapes and performance, right? So when we see these kind of various Vimanas popping up, it might be something that's referred in our ancient texts. Especially when you see religious symbols like this, when you see things like the Trishul, when you see the 8-pointed star that looks like the Neel Yantra. So we think there may be a connection, right? Because again, going back to our theory, all our ancient texts repeatedly say the gods come from the sky in Vimanas. This is a known fact. Okay, so when you see these same symbols appearing again and again,
right, that's
it just loops back into the idea saying that did ancient people also see the same things, right? They saw the same UAPs coming, right?
Do we find any of these carvings in any temple wherever you visited till date?
We have lots actually. We have carvings of Pushpaka Vimana. We have a cave painting in a place called Onake Kindi. Okay, this is in a remote part of Karnataka.
All right.
It's a little bit twisted because it's a privately owned farm, but there is a kind of a hanging cliff. But if you go there, you will see a cave painting there in the rock, and it looks exactly like a UFO. And it even shows like two kind of extraterrestrials like climbing up or something like that.
Okay.
If you go there, you will see, you can still see that cave painting. Some say the cave painting is 3,000 years old. Some say it's 10,000 years old, right? Yeah. So you will be surprised how many cave paintings exist of UFOs and extraterrestrials. They are found all over the world. We can find. So, what is a cave painting, right? So, what is a petroglyph or a cave painting, a rock art? It's prehistoric. Okay, cave painting is not a historic detail. So for example, from today, like what's happening today, that's not history. That's news. So anything that happened from yesterday to, like, let's say 2,000 years in India, that's considered history. And you can split that history into many parts. You can split that into ancient history, contemporary history, colonial history, that kind of stuff. But anything that happens in yesterday and like 2,000 years ago, that's history. Because people could write the history at that time. They could record that history, you see. But anything that happened before that, anything like we attribute to quote unquote cavemen, that's considered prehistoric. That's prehistory. So cave art is prehistoric. You don't find any written evidence. But you see time and time again that they carved UFOs, they carved alien-looking things again and again. It's the most dismissed thing amongst experts. Experts just dismiss it as like, oh, this is just an art. They just dismiss it. And even, to be honest with you, in Bhimbetka caves in India, one of the oldest caves of India, okay, you will find a figure holding a trishul. This is said to be 10,000 years old, I think, right? This could be the oldest evidence of Lord Shiva. It's like a figure holding a trishul, right? Normally, you would think that because it's somewhat clear evidence that this is the for 10,000-year-old carving showing a trishul, a man holding it. You can easily attribute this to Shiva holding a trishul, but they don't do it. They just dismiss it as, oh, this is just a meaningless carving. And when they say like an alien looking thing with a strange face, they say, oh, these guys probably wore a mask. It's a priest wearing a mask, that kind of thing.